for home brewing. My guess is he ordered a craft beer for dinner.
Possibly a Pilsner.
A single Pilsner for main. A salad.
Yo, what up? I got food.
So women are forcing men to go their own way. This is a horrible situation that we're seeing playing out right now. There's an insane amount of toxic behavior happening in dating right now, and it's being led predominantly by women, where women are stalking men. They are doing these terrible activities. They have a website called Are We Dating the Same Guy? It's actually a Facebook group, and there are multiple Facebook groups with these names. They have different locations, like over 100 or 200 of them spread out across the United States right now. It wouldn't surprise me if this trend is eventually spreads to other countries. And what these groups allow women to do is to track men. They pay, so they'll get their personal information, their photos, all of these details, and then they'll start exchanging information with millions. There are millions of women in these groups, millions of other women, information on who these men are and so forth. They are literally using these groups to cyber stalk men and to track men down, even men who have done absolutely nothing wrong. For example, there was a man who'd left his family. He just walked out and walked away from his family and walked away from his wife. His wife then came to the conclusion that, well, he must be cheating. So she used the group to track him down. And it turns out he had just left. He wasn't cheating on her. He walked out on the relationship. He was done and he walked out. And they used, through the group, the women used cyber stalking methods to trace him, track all of his information, share his stuff online so other women would know who he was. And it's done a lot of damage to his life and his relationships. He was actually in a relationship with a single mom. He got married to a single mom, and she basically made his life a living hell. So he just walked out, and she knew he walked out. She knew he walked out on her, but she couldn't find him. So she used it to track him down and then demand money from him, because if he has money to walk away, then he has money to help cover the cost of her children's living expenses. This is something that she actually said. So it's absolutely very, very sad. There was another situation where a guy, I don't know if he was a PhD or an MD, but a lot of women basically were talking to this guy over a dating app, and he blocked some of them, so he unfollowed some of them. And women are actually pushing right now that men who block them and unfollow them on these dating applications should face serious repercussions, including possible arrest, because that type of behavior is unacceptable. It's creepy, it's disrespectful, and it's dangerous to women when men block them and stop having conversations with them. So when a woman ghosts you, it's perfectly fine. But when a man ghosts a woman, or a man basically refuses to speak to a woman and tries to avoid her entirely, then he needs to be punished. He needs to be arrested, and he needs to have his life destroyed, because they label him a predator. They label him a series of different things. We actually have a video from a channel I was just checking out called Nikki Howard, and she has an interesting video on the channel where it kind of illustrates how women are operating in modern day society. So I'm going to link you to her channel, and you can go and check her out, but we're going to go ahead and jump into the video.
Fun tonight.
Me too. Good night.
Good night.
Let's begin.
I only love my bed and my mama. I'm sorry. God's plan. God's plan.
Based off his Instagram photos and his affinity for home brewing, my guess is he ordered a craft beer for dinner.
Possibly a Pilsner.
A single Pilsner for main. A salad.
Yo, what up? I got food. Sick.
It says here that the restaurant offers free bread. Did he partake?
He did, which means he's not on it.
And that he does eat gluten.
Not a bitch.
It's currently 8:46. It's been 30 minutes since he dropped me off.
No text.
Could he still be driving home?
Impossible.
You see that, guys? Like, this is the kind of thing that men are dealing with. Women have become so obsessive when it comes to relationships. A lot of women just going on dates right now for the free food. I mean, guys, it's a bad situation that we're looking at right now. It is a terrible situation. We have to wake up and realize nothing lasts forever. And unfortunately, women have made these bad decisions that are now having a major impact on their lives and their livelihoods. They chose this for themselves. They said that we wanted to, be independent. We wanted to be single ladies, and and men basically are giving their space and walking away. But the realm of dating and relationships is so toxic now that women are literally using cyber stalking methods to to go after guys. Like, oh, where's this guy? What is he doing? Let's keep track of him. Women are facing some very hard times because of decisions that they've made, and it's not going to improve anytime soon. This website, are these groups on Facebook, are we dating the same guy? This is 100% harassment, and a lot of these women are being sued right now by the men that they victimized. And of course, they're going to frame it like, oh, it's a positive thing, but they're going to come after you if you try to tell the world how terrible they are. Facebook groups warning women about online daters could be a risky business. It's not warning women about online daters. A lot of women will go to this group. For example, they may see a guy they like on the street, and they find out the guy's name or they work with or something, and they don't actually want, and they want to have a relationship with this guy. So instead of actually speaking to him, they will go to these groups and start and post his picture on the group, his name on the group, and then ask other women if they know who the man is, if they've dated him, and to give them as much information about the man as possible. What kind of sick stuff is that? And of course, there will be lots of women who just they dated a guy and they don't like a guy. So they'll make up things that are not true or over exaggerate things or post messages. Like, you can't even make mistakes anymore. We've all made mistakes as men. They've made tons of mistakes because they've dated way more men typically than the average man dates women. And imagine if men started putting all of their stuff on. Guys, when men start posting private messages, private images, and these things online, women file lawsuits and they win. When women do it to men, they say that these men are just babies. So women share details about abusive, toxic men in private groups, but lawyers urge caution. Women say private Facebook groups where they can share details about, abusive and toxic men they have dated help protect themselves and others, but lawyers caution the post might expose them to legal risk. Local Facebook groups called Are We Dating the Same Guy are popping up in communities across North America for women to post about men and vice versa. Some including in Toronto. So yeah, it's already spanned outside of the United States. We have them they're already in Canada. Some including in Toronto and in Mississauga have tens of thousands of members. A group in Ottawa area has more than 15,000. So there are actually millions of women currently accessing these groups overall. Earlier this year, Alicia Mercer, 37, started a group in the small Ottawa Valley town of Petawawa, I butchered it, which is also home to a Canadian military base. Mercer said she was in a previous relationship with a really bad dude and who was full of cheating and lies, and believes the page can help others to avoid similar heartbreak. If somebody could have warned me about that or given me any kind of insight into what I was to expect, my life would be completely different, she said. Many of the groups in North America appear to have the same administrator. A Patreon account that claims to belong to the same person says they operate red flag awareness groups that provide a venue for women to empower each other and keep each other safe from dangerous and or toxic men. This is insane stuff, guys. This is cyber stalking. They're using these groups to track men, to harass men, to destroy the lives of men, and they're calling it empowerment. Okay? You cannot make any mistakes as a man, or they're going to put you on there. And even if you haven't done anything wrong, guys, even if, like, for example, you're just a normal guy, a random woman sees you and she's interested in you, you've never a day in your life, or you've only had very, very small run-ins and so forth. Or guys, she's not even interested in dating you. She will go onto these groups and use these groups to research you. to pull up any dirt on you, to destroy your life. Guys, these groups can now be used for purposes of extortion and blackmail. And Facebook is running these groups and allowing these groups. And Facebook has been reached out to by the media regarding the legality of these groups, and Facebook refuses to respond to it. They refuse to respond. Now, take into consideration, if this goes to federal court and the courts basically said that this is allowed behavior, then it would also allow men to do these things to women, and it would create a precedent. Now, of course, no one cares about men. If it does go to a federal court, the judge will look at it like this. Well, if we allow this law, because we don't care about men, we don't care what happens to men. But if we actually say that, yes, ladies can do this, and that this is not extortion and blackmail, then what happens when men decide that they're going to do the same thing? And they start creating these groups as well that allow them to track women, find out where they work, find their location instantly. The guy who basically walked out on his single mother wife of his, she was able to find him within like 24 hours after going on that group, and then immediately began demanding money. She demanded a divorce and she demanded money. And he may have already lost his job. He was actually on like some celebrity chef show, and she used it to track him down. She's destroying his life. And she didn't even think for a moment that by doing this, she's actually reducing his ability to make an income. Because immediately after she found him, she then said she wants money. Can you imagine this? Can you imagine this? Women are forcing men to go their own way. They're forcing men out of society. They force men out of the gym, out of public spaces. They're forcing men out of gaming. When it comes to online gaming and playing in these spaces, they're forcing men out. They're forcing men off platforms like Twitch and Twitter. They're forcing men out of public spaces and online spaces. They are forcing men out of society. So what are men naturally going to do? You have men who are walking away and choosing to just, find their peace there and look at their alternatives. Men walking away are just men with alternatives. They're doing what works best for them, but they can change that at any time. And then you have the MGTOWs who are saying they want to live separate lives entirely, and they're trying to create separate communities like MGTOWs where it's only dudes. And then if people are like, oh, we're going to shame you. No, they don't give a damn. Okay? And women are pushing millions and millions. They're pushing every man towards this right now, where a lot of these men are not saying, they're not walking away. They're going their own way. Walking away is not separatism. Going your own way is separatism. They are pushing men towards this ideology. It doesn't matter if the acronym is there. It doesn't matter if they ban it on these platforms. Men are naturally doing this and saying, okay, we're just going to be separate. We're going to avoid them entirely. We're going to live separate lives. All right. We're just going to hunker down. We're not going to go anywhere where they are. Why do you think women are putting videos like, where are all the men? Why aren't men showing up, like popping up in stores anymore? When I go shopping, I don't see any guys there, because they're either getting in or getting out within 3 to 5 minutes, or they're not even shopping where women are going shopping. A lot of these dudes, like a lot of you guys in the comments, you guys go to like specialty places and, guys who butcher deer meats and all kinds of stuff. Like, you're completely walking away from society. I don't know. This is crazy stuff. And women are responsible for this. Guys, don't forget, if you're enjoying my content, consider checking out my newsletter. It is awesome. It is... You can find a link to my newsletter in the description of the video to get my personal thoughts and insights. And I release it every week, so it's a once-a-week newsletter. So go and get subscribed to that and check it out. It is so awesome. Also, join the Angry Guy community. Join our community for exclusive content at galaxy.com. And you can, it's on Locals. You guys have been bugging me for a while to get on Locals, so we have our own community over there. It's awesome. Tons of exclusive content. AngryGalaxy.com is linked in the description. Guys, these women are forcing men to go MGTOW, forcing men to go their own way. And they don't understand the implications of this. And if this is not shut, either it's going to be shut down in a court of law, because if it goes towards federal court and it becomes a precedent, if this becomes a precedent, Women don't understand the can of worms they are opening up. On the other hand, if this is shut down, you will end up seeing a lot of these women now opened up to lawsuits for posting in these groups because they're putting all of this personal information of men online. So, for example, just like men can be prosecuted now for posting certain images that they were not allowed to post and so forth, these women are doing these things in these groups. They're setting these things. They are breaking laws. So this is stalking, harassment, and a lot of those same laws that were created to protect women can now be used to put them in jail and prosecute them. And some of these laws have like minimum sentences of like 5 to 10 years. What do you think regarding this situation, guys? Let me know and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and cheers.